Hi guys, FrostFangs here, back again, of course, with another Paladins video. New playing some Inara today. She's got some pretty substantial buffs in this update. One that I've been wanting for a while, and another one that maybe makes her a little bit too good. So I'll quickly go through them, then we'll jump into some games, the usual sort of stuff. First off, Stone Spear has had its self-slow removed. This is actually massive. It means your full speed when you're firing with Inara. You can chase way better, and that weird trade-off you used to have to do is just kind of gone. It feels a hell of a lot better, and I've played against an Inara or two since this update, like people who are actually really good with her, and it makes her feel a hell of a lot more aggressive and actually pressuring, whereas before it always kind of felt like you could run away from Inara because if she wanted to damage you, she had to really slow herself down. There's a few other characters I think have something similar, but way less of a feeling of it. Really happy to see the slow removed from Inara. I'm not sure if it should be removed from everybody as much as I want Paladins to be, and I sort of always wanted it to be a quick movement based game, and I'm a bit of an Inara advocate, but characters like Rom should probably still have a bit of a slow, because or else it might feel like everybody's just kind of, like, you know, ice skating around. It might feel kind of bad, but with Inara specifically, I felt like it was the worst. She's definitely still a slow character, but that short slow before made her feel really, really weird, and also very jump starty, which didn't feel great if you were trying to actually output a lot. Hopefully this will mean more people will do good damage with Inara. As I said before, I really like her and I do quite well with her, but I don't see her very often at all. The other changes to her are kind of subtle, maybe unnecessary. The talent is up to 15 from 10, so 5% buff on that, and then the actual Earthen God base is also up 35 from 30, so 5 on each. I might go for the F setup, I'm not sure just yet. These are the two versions I run at the moment. They've been the same for ages. Her cards are all quite strong. She's got a decent selection here. There's a couple ways to play her. F, Q, standard. Even though they are different, they all fit within sort of the Inara framework. I'd like to see more variation of ways to play and maybe a little bit more of a damage focus, although don't really know where they should put it. Don't really have any great ideas, to be honest. I feel like the spot she's in is fine, but I would love to hear from you on that. If you've got any suggestions for what you think they should do to Inara, if anything at all, definitely let me know. So we got payload for the first one. I can't remember where I read this, but I'm pretty sure most of the maps for payload are disabled because of issues with the console, which means they're also disabled on PC. I'm fine with that. I think most people should have the same experience regardless of the platform as much as possible, but it does feel kind of weird saying payload is back and being hyped about it when it is just, at the moment at least, one map. I would have maybe preferred to have it delayed an update or two and then release on all platforms, because like I said in the other video, it's not on Switch, and also all of the maps at the same time, because yeah, it's just a bit jank at the moment. I don't know if it could have been done better. Don't want to repeat myself too much here though, similar to like the videos I made at the start of the update, because overall it is all good stuff and Paladins is hopefully heading in a good direction. Let's actually jump into a proper game one now, because somebody left the last one, and play some goddamn Inara. Gone for an F setup because I'm going to try and show this off aggressively first, and because we do have a damage pip here as the only healer, I don't feel that great playing her super tanky here. We've got Stidium, Kinessa, Death Hastens, Catalyst, whatever Liang grabs. Down there's another Kinessa, Reposition, Lifelink, Measure Cadence, Maelstrom, and Sure Force, and then Precision. Right click F straight into the fight. I'm going to try and block off that left bit a little bit. Nyx is actually nearly already out here. We'll redeploy the wall, get some more little taps. I don't know if you're able to see already just in that first fight, but if you haven't kept up with the updates, you'd be surprised with how goddamn fast Inara is at the moment. Definitely not looking good here. I'm going to have to pull back. We'll throw that wall. I love that play that you can do with Inara. It feels so good running away and then throwing that wall kind of behind you. I wish there were more characters that had sort of escape plays like that. For tanks, I mean, because I feel like a lot of other characters do have something similar. Most tanks, if you're in, you're kind of just in and dead. I guess Wakoa's role is kind of close. Barracks F is kind of close. They do feel similar. But Inara's wall as you're retreating is probably one of the better ones that I like personally. That Nyx is on like 2 health. She's still up. Okay, Kinessa mine. I guess we'll just finish it. Definitely a quiet game so far. Feels like everything's just kind of happening. There's the F right click combo because it makes it a little bit slower for them to clear the F on the floor. I see a lot of people separate them, which is usually a good idea. Unless you're in the middle of like 5 people straight away, then you want to pop both. Also lets you to sort of peek back and forth a lot faster than you could before. You couldn't really do that with Inara because of how slow your peek was, whereas now, if you're doing that little wiggle around a doorway, you can get 3 shots, jump back, and it doesn't feel that bad. Jumping down here, going to try and rush down the Lilith. I think she's actually cleared. The Nyx is also really low. We have a pretty hefty amount of damage reduction in the F because of the build. Definitely is a bit of a scuffed match, and that's probably because it's 2 AM and I'm recording this one. Always get scuffed games when I play late. More shots here on the Nyx. I feel like I can actually really easily like duel another tank with Inara being this quick. It does feel kind of weird. I'm really not used to it still. I played a game or two before this video. You can dedeploy the F, which is a strat worth knowing, by the way. I don't see people do it very often, but you kill a Caspian, the F's not really worth it. You can take it down early. It's only got like a 6-second cooldown with this setup. Definitely is a 4v5 because their Caspian isn't huge, kind of just running in and dying over and over again. I think some of their people on their side have also just given up, but really do like this spray. I said that when it came out, but one of my favorite ones. I've been running it for ages, and this skin for Inara also, I think it's just a recolor. Looks sick. Don't usually pay too much attention to cosmetics and stuff in Paladins. I do in other games I don't make videos on for whatever reason. I pay a lot of attention to cosmetic stuff, especially ones that I've been playing for a long time, but with Paladins specifically, I don't usually pay too much attention unless it's something that really catches my eye, and this spray, as well as this recolored skin for Inara, or weapon at least, I mean, really did There we go though, there is the victory, kind of meaning this because obviously that was like a 3v5 or something. It was really crap, but we got a much better one seemingly here. Siege Bazaar with a level 247 Ray, Andrew, Leanne, and Sky. Gonna go for the safer option, Mother's Grace, with the standard sort of setup, which I've shown a million times on the channel. I might have moved the levels around a little bit, but it's been the same for so many goddamn videos. I don't feel the need to really go through it. There's the matchup. If you're interested, it looks like it might be a little bit rough for us here. We've got Relentless, Enveloping, Sureforce Burn, Lifelink, Eminence, Debilitate, Extension, and Andrew with Darkstalker, the new one, which I'm pretty sure is actually still broken. Voice has been a little bit scuffed in this video, so I do apologise for that. Might not be that noticeable, obviously, once I put it all together, but yeah, sound a little bit scuffed, I'm noticing as we go on here. We'll throw the cube down, right click, get some more shots on Nyx. I probably shouldn't even be bothering, you know, getting rid of her here, because everybody else on my team I think is just dead. Drop the F, try and wiggle a little bit. Definitely easier to sort of retreat and deal some damage now with Inara, but so right click, I guess we can kind of duel the Vatu, maybe. Definitely with that right click up, you can tank pretty much anything. It does feel like sometimes the shots still give you self-slow. I don't know if that's just because other slows are hitting me, but sometimes I feel significantly faster. Didn't buy items, by the way. Don't know why it took me that long to notice. It seems like we're kind of screwed, though, just from the matchup here. I don't really know what the team is doing. I say as I don't buy items, but yeah, it's a bit of a rough one. Might be able to regroup and sort of revitalize here. We'll go for the, that should be a pretty big one, right? That's a 2-man. Thought I'd get more than that. So right click, we don't have any cooldown reset in the build. We'll try and block off the IO here. Maybe get rid of her, just try and chase her down a bit. I don't know what her plan is. She's just gone. Definitely still getting used to Inara having like any form of mobility though, to be honest. It makes her feel a lot faster and a lot less of a tanky character, even though your tankiness is actually more because of the update. We'll push on the Tyra here. Your damage output feels better though. You can sort of chase people down like that. Pretty good place to try and hold the point. We're going to wall that off there and then maybe go through the Nyx. She's kind of low here. Don't really know where to place myself though because the team's playing kind of far back. I'd love to hold that little area because that's pretty good for Inara, but it is also just tough. That's like a really open spot to try and cover if I don't like permanently have the wall up. We do have the ult here again. Same exact play as before. There we go. Save the friggin' Sky ult. That was kind of bad. There's a double. That is a team wipe there. We'll throw the wall and try and retreat a bit, but not to be mean to the Sky, by the way. She might have actually seen that my ult was up and wanted to combo with me, but I don't know if I'm giving her too much credit there. She did just run into a room and get blasted. I think I'm dead just to the ult here, right? Okay, I could still move. That's a bug that's been in the game for a minute. I could move quickly because of the no slow, but yeah, we are just gone. Don't go for Haven. Haven, veteran, standard to a tank comp here. We don't have a Leanne. IO is gone. We could technically still get this. I'm trying to play this top little angle and hold it. We'll throw the wall up there to block the Tyra maybe. Yeah, we are still contesting. Get some more taps. There's a right click again. It does regen pretty damn quickly, especially with the setup. I should be paying more attention to it. Maybe they should make the duration longer if you go for the talent. Maybe move some of the buffs around on it. Let's go into the second round. See how we do. Throw the wall early. Try and group up a bit. We do not have a Leanne though, so it's kind of rough. Right click there to dodge the stun. Trying to get rid of the Tyra here. That's Ray ult, not a Ray. I did hear Ray ult, but that was a freaking Flora on me. I don't know why I was so pushed up. I thought we were kind of going for it. Definitely is a tough one here. It feels kind of like a 3v5. I feel bad for the Andrew though, specifically because he is using a talent that technically isn't giving him a buff at the moment. It just is, I think, slightly different than normal Andrew F, but is not working the way it should, so it probably feels like he's playing with just a worse version of what he should be getting. There's an ult. That's a pretty big set of stuns. There goes Tyra. Chase down the IO2. I'm going to ignore the Nyx because honestly her damage isn't that crazy here, especially when I'm right clicked up. There goes the entire team though. Throw the F down, throw the right click up. I'm just delaying my death. I'm buying some time here for the team. That's a Nyx with the ult. I don't know if that was really necessary there, but yeah, Vatu just jumping around, getting kind of tapped here by the Vora. We can just tank anything really when we got that right click up with the talent, but yeah, the bot is just currently stuck on my wall. Pretty rough games back to back today. It's a bit of a shame. I will do one more after this because I don't want to have just these two games as the showcase for an hour. We'll play one more TDM and play a little bit more aggressive, speed focused because I haven't really been able to do it properly in either of the team matches today, but I like keeping these on the channel even though, you know, they're not the best games ever, just so you don't always know what to expect when I put a video up, and also to capture, you know, sort of the state of Paladins around the releases of certain updates. Going to be a 1-4 here though for sure. We'll put a little wall up here to get a little bit higher so we can dance in front of everybody. Props to the enemy team. They're being good sports about it. It's obviously not anything to do with them as to why that game was rough, and I always try and not ruin matches. You never know, you might actually be able to win 45. I have won quite a few of those before, but there we go. There are these stats for the second one. We'll requeue and to do one more, though I don't think I want to do siege here. We'll do a payload or choose any. Alright, so for the third one, here's the matchup. I'm just going for like a full speed normal thing here. They have a lot of CC though, so I went for the one that gave us CC immunity. That is just 7 going deep in the back line. I think we can get rid of him here though. It's a bit of a weird play. We'll pop the right click so the generals can't grab, and so we can just kind of push in here for free. Yeah, Sweet Inara does feel kind of brutal, especially with the double nimble. Feels like she really can just push into your team. That's Drogo's off the floor, I think. Sort of deal with the 7, I suppose. We don't get knocked by the bombs, which is kind of nice. Although General's just going to sort of push him here again. This is a very, very 2 2 AM game. I feel like all of them today have been. He's gone. We can't really get countered at all when we're in that right click. You're basically immune. You still take damage. You still can get hit pretty hard, but it does feel like you're just sort of power spiking insanely hard. It definitely feels fair though, because you're super vulnerable for the most part when you don't have that right click up. When you go for the setup, you go for Chronos, you just get such an insane buff from that right click that you feel nearly unkillable. We'll throw the ult there. There's a single stun because I really crappily threw that. She's going for the ult. I'm just dead. You'll definitely stop getting bursted, but if you're in the middle of a fight and you're getting hit by like 5 people, you're still going to eventually die. We'll throw the F down there. Thought Generals were going to grab double Void Grip Generals plus Furious Stun. Doesn't even feel that bad as an Inara right now, especially after she's had me there and Axia removed. That's another thing I completely forgot to mention in this goddamn video until right this minute, is that you're also perfectly accurate jumping around, which you weren't before, and that felt really bad on Inara. That's another reason why she feels so much better, and I can't believe I didn't talk about it earlier. There is the double grip stun combo. It was going to happen eventually, but I can't believe I didn't talk about it earlier. Yeah, you can just jump and you're perfectly accurate, which also makes her feel a lot better. Again, like I said in a different video, not because you're necessarily jumping that often with her, but because other stuff is knocking you, moving you, and making, you know, things happen that make you inaccurate. Does just feel so much better now. We can just sort of run through them again. Right now I feel like I'm just sort of an immovable object, or I guess an unstoppable force would be the better one, because we're just kind of rushing through people. It's just like face tanking damage. There's the right click. We are getting hit by like a lot of people all of the time. Did I just knock their Generals off? I think he was behind me, or can't grab him. They're both gone. Gonna go ahead and pop the ult. I feel like this last game has definitely been the best showcase for it. That is a 3-man stun. We have got the right click up so we can't be grabbed. We can just sort of push through them here and just hit them for pretty heavy damage. There's a wall. Eventually we are going to get grabbed though. I'm just dead. Yep, honestly though, you do tank a ton and that doesn't really compensate for how much damage reduction you've got. Do we jump off the map on purpose here? I was going to try and wall him off, but I think that wall isn't tall enough, so it wouldn't have made a difference there anyway. He could have just snuck through the little top a bit, which is good game design actually when you think about the fact that you can't completely block that off very easily. Does make you wonder if they even thought about that, or if they just like made the doors like that because they looked kind of cool, but it makes Inara's wall a hell of a lot weaker against people like Drogo's, and a lot of other things probably slightly better because you can kind of lob them over. Dead here any second. Going to try and play the wall. I guess they're just going to ignore me. We'll throw that up. Is that going to still give me like enough time to heal up here? Enough. That's Sphere going for the ult. We can kill Drogo's here. That right click tankiness is insane, but yeah, like I've sort of said, hopefully throughout most of this video, Inara is in a really good spot and she is very strong at the moment. We had a Victor there who was doing work. We still outdamaged him by nearly double. On top of that, we were definitely the most tanky person there in that game by a goddamn long shot, and yeah, the stats sort of show it. Hopefully the gameplay did too. Don't have anything to really add here, but go play more Inara because I feel like I barely see her. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys all really, really soon. Thank you, of course, so much for watching, and as always, stay frosty.